Esperava que você deveria também não cair, né?
Mas porque eu fui burro. O cara é mais curto do que eu, boxe sério. O que eu tinha que fazer? Mais na longa, chutava igual eu fiz com essa, fazendo ele vir, matando, e aí eu desse o tiro. O que eu falei? Vou botar pra baixo e vou botar a mão. Eu botei a mão, só que ele botou a mão primeiro em mim. Então eu fui burro. Acontece, faz parte da luta. O que vai fazer? A tua mente. Tu voltar de novo. Foi o que aconteceu, voltamos mais forte. Então é o que eu tô tentando trazer pra vocês.
O Max Holloway disse que tem um interesse, é uma luta que seria uma revanche para você, né? E que você realmente gostaria de ter essa revanche?
Sim, na realidade é um cara que eu respeito demais. Na minha última luta com ele, todo mundo sabe, eu tive uma lesão, tal, ele fala que não, mas eu tive uma lesão, né? Então com certeza seria um bom reencontro.
I know that you watched Charles Oliveira's last fight and kind of had a reaction to that. Were you streaming when you watched that actually? Or you streamed like right after, right? So you were kind of on top of that.
Yeah. My stream started right after. I mean, that's the fight I want. You know, that's the fight I want. That's the fight. That's a fight a lot of people want to see. We have history. A lot of there's not too much people right now that people are considering BMFs.
Right.
But on that very short list, on a very short list, Charles Oliveira is one of them. So, you telling me that I get to go out there and defend the BMF title again against a man who's very respected, who I have history with, and the first time that they talk about our fight or he talks about it is an injury or so, and whatever. So let's go figure it out. Let's figure it out then. If you believe that the first one was because of the injury and everybody's going to come at me and social media is going to come at me after this, it's light, because at the end of the day, if you guys really did your research, nothing was ever found for an injury when he got released from the doctor. So at the end of the day, I would love that fight. He did great things. He actually was a champion at one point. And, me getting another win over a top 5 guy would only be me closer to a title shot where I eventually want to be.
Most people would love to see you inside the cage with Ilia Topuria. How would you get the job done against Ilia?
Absolutely smash his face in for him. I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest. People have put him on a pedestal now. They think he's this big, amazing thing, when I'll bring him crashing back down to earth in a big way.
Vale, quality. Chama!
In a recent interview, you teased a potential move to middleweight if you can't get another fight with if you can't get a fight with Alex Pereira. So, What would that look like for you? You're a big guy, so would that be a tough cut to middleweight, or would it not be too big of a deal?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. But for me, to cut to 93 is not problem. I think to 84 kilograms, like middleweight, will be really something. And I believe I can make it with my body, because I know my body, so I believe I can make it. But it depends. Like, I really want to bring the title to Czech Republic, light heavyweight.
The reason that we did not get to 30-0, the reason that this stopped at 29-0, had nothing to do with competition. Khabib was not scared of anybody, and nobody maintains that he was. But the reason they didn't get to 30-0, and they looked at that contract, and boy, they kept changing the contract, they kept changing the figure, and they kept moving a decimal and kept adding a comma to it. They were looking at the wrong numbers. If you wanted to get Khabib to 30-0, or you wanted him to walk out there for the 30th time, whether he got the victory or not, it was the weight class. That was the number, and that was the problem in the contract. The number one reason that fighters retire, the absolute number one reason, is they don't want to make weight anymore. Now, no fighter in history, in any sport, wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu, MMA, has ever said, I'm retiring because I don't want to make weight anymore. It's the number one reason they do retire, but they've never said it. It just doesn't sound right. But the reason you didn't get Khabib versus Conor 2 had nothing to do with money or location. Had nothing to do with a statement that was made or a promise that was going to be kept. Khabib as an athlete was done weighing 155 pounds. They could have got Khabib Conor 2. All they had to do was make it at 170 pounds. And I'm sharing that with you because that is a great mystery that is not even known to this day. Like, if you were to sit the players down in the room and try to figure out how we didn't get Khabib versus Conor point 2, it would tie into the late, great, rest his soul, Coach Nurmagomedov. It would tie into a promise. It would tie into a statement was made. It would tie into a man of his word. No, you're completely wrong. When you were negotiating for that fight, if you would have said it's at 165 pounds or it's at 170 pounds, you would have got the fight.
Если бы тебе пришлось бы драться с самим собой 2015 года, Makhachev, 10 лет назад, сколько? Ну, какой план у тебя был бы против того Ислама Makhachev? Тому Исламу сделал бы submission? Я вот и натуре. Disrespect. Точно? Хорошо, я передам ему.
Бой с Мадаленой, но все говорят, Makhachev Topuria, Topuria Makhachev. Ну, не оставляет эту тему. Тебе интересно?
Думаю, да, было бы неплохо. И фанатам интересно, и мне интересно. В первую очередь, потому что об этом бое говорят.
Тебе он интересен бой, потому что о нем говорят, или тебе лично интересен?
Ну, знаешь как, если мне лично, чем он может быть мне интересен? Что я получу, если я на 70 спущусь и выиграю Topuria? Я опять пояс выиграю, у меня есть этот пояс. Людям, в первую очередь, он интересен. Мне не интересно вес гонять 70 килограмм, опять себя мучить. Мне интересно в 77 драться, кушать, радоваться на кемпе и драться.
У тебя бой с Мадаленой, но все говорят,